Imagine a war where every movement, every order, every whisper of strategy could be intercepted, but never understood. That was the nightmare the Allies faced during World War II. The German military had a secret weapon that wasn't a bomb or a tank, but a machine, a compact, clattering device of wires, rotors, and light bulbs known as the Enigma. It encrypted messages so complex that even the sharpest code breakers couldn't see through them. It was said that breaking Enigma was impossible. But in a hidden room deep within the English countryside, a small group of geniuses set out to do exactly that, and change the fate of the world. The Enigma machine looked almost harmless, like a typewriter built for a curious inventor. But every keystroke it produced transformed a letter into another, its settings changing daily according to secret codebooks. The combinations were astronomical, more than 150 quintillion possibilities. German commanders trusted it completely, convinced that no one could ever decipher their plans. As a result, Enigma became their invisible armor, ensuring that U-boats hunted Allied ships unseen and troops struck without warning. But at Bletchley Park, a quiet estate in Buckinghamshire, Britain's brightest minds had gathered to prove that no armor was unbreakable. Mathematicians, linguists, chess champions, and engineers worked day and night in secrecy, surrounded by walls of paper, cigarette smoke, and the unrelenting pressure of time. Among them was a man whose mind worked unlike any other, Alan Turing. Turing was brilliant, eccentric, and socially awkward, but his way of thinking defied convention. Where others saw chaos, he saw patterns. He realized that to beat Enigma, the Allies would have to fight machine with machine. His invention, the bomb, was a massive electromechanical device designed to test Enigma's possible settings at lightning speed. It was the first step toward what we now call modern computing. Every day, the Germans changed Enigma's configuration, resetting the puzzle anew. It was a race against time. The Bletchley Park team had to decipher the code before the next day's messages rendered their work useless. The tension was relentless. A single delay could mean convoys destroyed at sea, soldiers ambushed, or entire cities bombed. And yet, slowly but surely, the impossible began to unravel. The first breakthroughs came from fragments, intercepted weather reports, repeated phrases, the subtle predictability of human habits. A single overlooked word, Heil Hitler, appearing in countless transmissions, became a clue that cracked entire sequences of messages. Bit by bit, Turing and his team began to read the enemy's mind. What they discovered was staggering. Through their deciphered messages, the Allies learned the positions of German submarines, the timing of planned attacks, and the inner workings of the Nazi command. Their success saved countless lives and shortened the war by years. Winston Churchill himself later called the codebreakers of Bletchley Park, the geese that laid the golden eggs, and never cackled. Their work was so secret that even those who lived with them never knew what they had achieved until decades later. But behind the triumph lay a heavy cost. The codebreakers could not act on every message they cracked. Doing so might reveal that Enigma was compromised. Sometimes, they had to watch tragedies unfold, ships sunk, men lost, so that their secret could remain safe. It was a cruel arithmetic, a moral burden they carried long after the war ended. Alan Turing's own story is one of the war's greatest ironies. Despite his unmatched contribution to the Allied victory, he was persecuted after the war for his homosexuality, a criminal offense at the time. Stripped of his dignity and recognition, he died a broken man, long before the world understood the magnitude of what he had done. It wasn't until decades later that his name was cleared and his genius celebrated. Today, his legacy stands not only as the man who cracked Enigma, but as the father of modern computing, a visionary who saw the future hidden within circuits and logic. The cracking of the Enigma machine wasn't just a technical feat, it was a turning point in human history. It transformed cryptography, pioneered the foundations of computer science, and altered the course of the Second World War. What began as a desperate race against time became one of the greatest intellectual triumphs ever achieved under pressure.